Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Couch of the Dead. And buckle up, bitches, and ride with us because we just got back from the theaters and saw the brand new movie, Passenger.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
And we are
back.
welcome back, my friends, to the Couch of the Dead, and I hope you are all having a great weekend. It's a Memorial Day weekend. It is Friday, and today the brand new movie Passenger came out, and we had to go see it because that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We go see it even if it wasn't what we do because we like horror movies.
Yeah.
So before we get any further,
What is the creepy cocktail of the day?
you first.
So I have been on the same drink for the last few episodes. I am drinking strawberry daiquiri from On the Rocks, and we are not sponsored by anyone, especially not alcoholic beverages. But hey, On the Rocks,
We
if
should
you are
be.
listening to us, we're promoting you. What are you drinking?
I am drinking Di Serono and milk, and I like to call that the nether region because every time I drink it around her, I pass out and I wake up and my taint hurts.
Yeah, maybe we will never get monetized. If you are new here, welcome. Please, if you like what we put out there, subscribe, like, share, send
Five
us some
stars
love.
because we are a 5-star podcast.
Yeah. And if you are not
least we
new
think we
here
are.
and you are a recurring listener, thank you so much for your love, your support, and I hope that we are creating content that you guys like. And it's because we really enjoy what we're doing.
Check us out. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all those cool places. Check
Yep.
us out. Give us a rating. Give us a like, a subscription. Even if you don't like us, just help us out because we're really cool people. And one day we might be really famous and we're going to remember you. And then we're going to give you $1 million.
So we are also on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. So go give us a follow.
Check out my new series of TikToks because I'm new to the TikTok machine. Every week, you can look for the new Creepy 3 of the week, and I'm going to give you 3 movies in a category. I've done the most underrated movies. I also did the best 3 found footage movies.
And he has a
So-
long list of creepy 3.
Yep. Just
So-
throwing it out there, some little recommendations, get some comments going. Tell me what you think about my list. Come at me, bro. You want to fight? Come on. Come at me. Hold me back.
Okay. I guess if we don't have anything else going on,
We never do.
let's talk about this movie, Passenger.
So, Passenger is a brand new movie, and I am going to butcher this dude's name because his last name is spelled with an O with a slash through it. So, Andre Uredal. It's Swedish, so it might be like Uredal. Either way.
Hey, I'm not the only one who pronounces things wrong now, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sweet. You're more Swedish than I am.
I'm not.
This is starring Jacob Scapio, Lou Lobel, whose family must love the letter L because there's like 12 letter L's in her name, and Melissa Leo.
Awesome.
And we don't have many more people in this movie other than that. This is mainly a two-person movie, and it is about Tyler and Maddie, and they decide they're going to live the van life, which for all you guys, that's what I aspire to. I aspire to one day live in a van down by the river,
He really does.
eating government cheese and living in a van down by the river.
Yeah, maybe when I die, first impressions.
I think we're going to go into first impressions. And my first impression of this movie was it was solid. Um, Definitely a really original plot considering how much other stuff's been done already. Um, the idea of the villain not totally original, but the story itself was pretty original, and it was executed for the most part pretty well. It's not going to win any awards, but it's a nice solid entry into horror for 2026.
So my first impressions, this movie really had a great opening. The trailer kind of gives up a little too much, so I have a little bit of an issue with that. Even though I don't like watching trailers, it was hard to not watch the first few seconds of a trailer. But anyway, this movie had a really great opening. It had a really good momentum right after that going. I think it was overall it was fun. It was a great kind of original premise. I don't know that I liked the third act that much. I think it got a little bit sloppy, but it's really hard to try to close up a movie of this with this premise. So I think they did the best that they could. I think it was fine. It was enjoyable. So it's nothing that it's, like you said, it's not gonna win any awards. But as a horror movie fan, we enjoyed it, and that's, if you want to wait to watch it at home, save a few bucks. Just wait until it comes out on streaming.
Let's get into this movie and let's spoil this bitch up in here.
You said
No, I
he
said
says
spoil.
I swear he says boil.
No, I did not.
Anyway,
We'll save that for a witch movie. Let's boil this
boil
bitch.
this bitch.
Wow.
that's my witch cackle.
No, I've heard that already.
Funny.
So our movie opens with what is basically your prologue, and we see two buddies just presumably on a road trip, driving down a dark country road, with the woods all around them. Of course, the one guy has to pull over to pee, and right after he drinks a ton of water, and his buddy who's driving is like, "Stop drinking water." Well, 2 minutes later, he's got to pee. So he pulls over, goes into the woods to start taking a leak, and we start hearing motion in the forest, twigs snapping, branches breaking.
And he's trying to hurry up.
Yeah,
But
there's only so
suddenly-
much he can hurry it,
Yeah.
and
And then suddenly we hear a honk. So obviously he's thinking, this dude.
yeah, his buddy's giving
You
him
know?
shit, like, hurry up.
Yeah. So did you give her something to drink?
Luciba, go home, Luciba, you're drunk.
If you're only listening to us and not watching
Our
us,
devil goat just tried to eat herself off the
she wanted
off the
some of your
table.
drink.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he finally zips up, and he's annoyed at the friend or buddy or whatever, and he goes over to where the car is, and all the doors are open, even the trunk door is open.
Well, and the horn's
horn,
just not beeping. It's something's laying
solid.
on the horn.
Yeah, like if you're solidly pressing on it. That is beautiful.
Just like that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And so he's like, "What the fuck?" And the friend is not in the car. So
And something of note, which this happened a lot in this movie, where I was like, "That's some foreshadowing right there." We see 3 slashes on the trunk of the car. Almost looks like claw marks.
yes,
He's
we'll
looking.
come back to that.
Yeah, he's looking for his buddy, and his buddy's nowhere to be found. So he gets in the car, tries to call him. His buddy's cell phone's in the
In the
car,
car. Mm-hmm.
and then bawoosh, his buddy basically falls from the sky through the windshield, busts a gigantic hole in the windshield, and is half dead. And he's like, "Help me!"
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets yanked away.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of one of the things that I liked about this movie that I even mentioned when we left was the people in this movie actually did make pretty logical decisions. And instead of getting out and helping his buddy like people would do in a horror movie, he's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out of here."
Yes, because it was obviously something supernatural. He didn't see anything or anyone grabbed him from after falling from the sky, grabbed him from the thin air and just yeeted it out. Yeah, there was absolutely nothing, no one there. So yeah, he did a rational decision. He got in the he was already in the driver's seat and started driving away. Except as he started driving away, he saw someone standing by the side of the road. Now remember that this is a dark back road. He sees someone by the side of the road and he accelerates, like he doesn't and then maybe a mile later, not even, he sees it again, and then a third time, and then he sees him. There was a jump scare because he showed up in the passenger seat,
This
and
thing that he saw on the side of the road.
mm-hmm.
And that's basically a jump scare into our title credits.
Yes,
Now we cut to a city
Nikki,
apartment.
yep, Nikki,
And we meet Nikki, and we meet her at this time boyfriend.
wait, no, it's not Nikki.
It's Maddie.
It's
Nikki,
Maddie.
Nikki's from the other movie.
Yeah, we were watching
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah. And Maddie, she is. I thought initially they were moving in, but they're moving
No.
out of their apartment and into a Mercedes
van.
Sprinter van.
Yeah.
And this was 1 hour and a half long
Of
Mercedes
Mercedes
Sprinter
ad.
van commercial.
Yes.
But I gotta say that might have just been me because I always wanted a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Hey, Mercedes knows their
Hey,
audience.
Mercedes, if you're listening, just saying, just hook me up with a van, bro.
Just one.
Yeah, that's all
It
I
won't
need.
cost you much.
That's all I need. I can live in that down by the river. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we find out that Maddie
Mm.
and Tyler, they're a couple,
Mm-hmm.
and they've both quit their jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to go live the van life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Tyler is a lot more enthusiastic about it than Maddie is at first.
Yes.
Because
And some themes come up because of this. We'll explore them in a little bit, but yeah, Maddie just kind of seemed like she was going along to make him happy, and at first you can say it was working. But like anything, if you're doing something for the person that you love and you're not really enjoying it as much as they are, then maybe you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Maybe be honest with your partner.
well, and she does,
At some point,
but
but not like at some point you can tell it has been like maybe 2 months or something.
well, so
And we can jump ahead then because
there's our whole adventure begins because they're going to what is like a hot springs resort, something like
yes.
that. That's where Tyler wants to go, and Maddie's like, "Well, can we make a detour because I want barbecue and we have to go to this particular barbecue place." So, of course, they take their detour and get stuck in traffic, end up like off the beaten path.
Mm-hmm.
So
never made it to their reservation.
they never made it, so they're trying to find somewhere else. So in their travels, they decide they're going to park like in a residential neighborhood,
Which
that's a bad choice.
I
Like, you
think,
can tell they're newbies.
but see, here's the thing that kind of bothered me because he at another event he was gushing over this Van Live influencer. He, was talking about how he had watched all of the episodes from this guy. And so those people who are finally making the jump into going into a van life, they know the rules. And one of the big rules is you find big parking lots that are usually lit up and you never go into residential places. So I think that was a little bit of a plot hole for me. But regardless,
Yeah, because I watched those videos. I watched the camping and the van build videos and stuff, and that's like rule number one is so they get the knock. They get a neighborhood watch guy that comes in and is like, "Yo, 60 seconds and I'm calling the cops." Well, right as they get the knock interrupts Tyler proposing to Maddie. She right before she gives her answer, you get the knock. They get on the road. She says, "I do," but she doesn't. She doesn't put the ring on, which is weird.
it is.
So
She's actually fiddling
she's
with
driving
the
while she's
ring.
fiddling the ring, and this is where you were like, she's gonna drop it. And this became like the first of many events in this movie that like we both predicted like a mile before it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very predictable, and this is obviously because I mean, come on. The camera is right on her finger in the ring and her on on the wheel, and the first thing you think is, "Duh. You're going to
Yeah.
drop it. You idiot."
Yeah.
And she does. She's trying to reach it, and why? It's dark and it's night, obviously. And they're in a lonely road. She does finally get it, and right as she gets it, a car behind them
Yeah. Startles them.
startled them. Yes, it started trying to make them to pull over or something, like trying to get them to pull over because they go on the driver's side of the road like that. And so she's like, and the boyfriend wakes up and he's like, "You know what, let them go, whatever, don't."
Well, but we notice with this car that the windshield's busted out.
Yeah.
So it's the same car from the beginning of our movie.
Which we obviously know, but they don't.
No, but well, that's the whole point. We're the audience. We know this. We're supposed to know it. We're supposed to know that something is afoot. Something nefarious is afoot.
Nefarious.
And
So
wackiness is about to
Oh
ensue.
my God! Here we go again. That's his new favorite phrase. And not even a minute, 2 minutes later, they kind of witness. Well, they didn't witness it, but it was the same car,
He goes
so it couldn't
speeding
have
past
been
them,
right.
and like around the bend, and they come up on the car now off the side of the road in a tree.
So obviously, it just literally happened. It just didn't happen in front of them.
So,
But
so they do the right thing.
Yeah.
They get out, and Tyler immediately calls 911.
thank you.
Yeah. And Maddie gets out and is just kind of evaluating the situation. Tyler now goes over and gets in the car with the kid.
Well, no, wait. Because when Tyler was on the phone with the police or 911, she sees the passenger door open, and she sees the guy, which we know him to be the friend that drove off after his other friend got killed or whatever. Anyway, he is kind of getting out from the passenger seat onto the ground. As he is getting out, Maddie says something to him like, "Don't move," or "We're getting you help," or whatever. But just as soon happens that something drags him back in to the car. And then that's when Tyler comes in, and he goes to the car, and Maddie tells him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, there's nobody else in here." And then one of the coolest scenes happen where he's the driver of the car is sitting there kind of with his head on the wheel, and he's all busted up, and the airbag deploys.
He wasn't fully dead.
He was only mostly dead,
Yes.
which there's only one thing you can do when you're mostly dead. No.
No.
That's what you can do when you're all dead, is go through his pockets for loose change.
No.
Well, he
No,
ends up
don't do
probably being able to do that because the airbag deploys very suddenly and rapidly, as airbags tend to do, and just blows Homeboy's head back.
And it was a cool shot. I liked it. Yeah.
So
In the meantime, this is when Maddie noticed the 3 slashes on the trunk of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And
Foreshadowing.
yes. And she also kind of has this feeling that someone was behind her, and then she turns around and there's a flashing light from the van.
From their blinkers, from their four ways, from
And
their hazard lights.
and it's a really cool shot because it slows down to like a blink, and you see her face with the red shadow of the blinking lights, and you're seeing her watching something, and it appears like a person, and then
It looks like a man.
but then it just whoop, it's gone.
And
So she's spooked.
a little bit of foreshadowing of my own. That was really cool. I've seen enough horror movies to know that when the four ways are blinking on and off, you're going to see this thing every time it blinks, and then it may go away, or it may be a jump scare. And it was really cool when they did it at first, but they use it a lot more in the movie. And that was one of my big criticisms of the movie, was they literally did a couple of really cool things, but they did it to death.
They just repeated it.
Yeah, it was very repetitive.
Yeah.
Now Maddie's back in the van while Tyler's talking to the police, and we see kind of like a POV shot of something in the back, like working its way up to Maddie. So we know that whatever was in the passenger seat with the dude
It's now.
you make the assumption it's now with them. You know, here we go.
I mean,
We're off and running.
especially if the movie title is called Passenger. I'm sure it wasn't about a regular passenger.
You don't know that.
So
This could have been a whole commentary on passenger princess driving. But
anyway,
they decide that they're going to go to like a van lifers festival called Burning Van,
the burning van.
which I thought was kind of funny.
I thought that was
that was
clever.
pretty creative. So it was basically a meetup at a big campground with all these other people, and that's like you said before. He meets like a YouTuber who does these kind of videos, and Tyler's like, "Oh, I've seen all your videos and
he's
everything,"
gushing
and
over
he's
him,
just
like, really.
And that's when they notice the claw marks or the 3 slashes on
the
their
van.
van now. So we're like, okay, this obviously means something. And,
Yeah.
you know.
To me, I immediately thought they were marked. In the meantime, Maddie is kind of taking in the whole scenery, and I think is this when she meets Diana?
Yeah, because she goes up to Diana's RV and the one side is just covered with missing posters.
So she's really taking it all in. There's a bunch of people missing, pictures, newspaper articles, or whatever. And then there's something that catches her attention. It's a drawing of a stick man figure, and I'm gonna put it up in the screen, with 3 claw marks right in the middle of it.
Which shows up again, but now that I'm thinking about it, they never really dive deep into that.
No. Which would have been cool.
There's a lot of other symbols that come into play in this movie, but that never does really.
Yeah. I wish they did. I am all about symbols. I really enjoy learning stuff about symbols. It kind of reminded me also of Yellow Jackets. I don't know if anybody out there is a fan, but kind of like the stick figure, but the one in the Yellow Jackets has like a little skirt or a triangle. This one doesn't.
So she's talking to Diana, and Diana's kind of like, "Oh, you guys are newbies," and she kind of confides a little bit in Diana that she really doesn't know what to think about this yet. She hasn't adjusted, but Diana gives her some advice and basically tells them like to stick to the main roads, don't drive at night, don't stop
For anyone.
for anything. Well, too late.
Too late. Thank you, Diana.
They drove at night. They already stopped, you know.
Yep.
So somebody does them a solid and fixes the claw mark on the van, and they leave the Burning Van Festival right after they do some pretty sweet country line dancing.
Yeah, that was fun. That looked
And
like fun.
this influencer, this van life influencer, basically was giving Tyler some advice and basically saying, "Look, don't park in residential areas. Go to like places that are open 24 hours." He said 24-hour gyms are your friend. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently, at some point, they got a gym membership
Mm-hmm.
because Tyler's in there on the treadmill, and Maddie's like, "Hey, I'll meet you out in the van. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
took my shower. I'm gonna go out there."
Now this I really really enjoyed.
I did, but it was flawed. But we have this scene of her basically trying to traverse this parking lot, and the lights go out, and there's a couple cool shots where she hears
Something,
footsteps or
yes.
running, and
She
every time
turns
she turns
around.
around and then
Mm-hmm.
she turns back and the van's farther away from
Mm-hmm.
her than it was when she saw
When
it
she
before.
started. Yeah.
Now, at first, so we go back to she thinks she saw something in the woods in the accident. She thinks she saw something in the van by the accident. She now thinks she sees something in the parking lot.
She's not really
Instead of
sure.
heading for the
Heading
van,
back.
just turn around and go
Yeah.
back to the gym.
Yeah.
You know,
But
that was the only kind of bad
but
decision.
see, in my head, I was thinking if I was her, I would not go back. I would not go back to the gym because I would feel stupid. I would feel like, okay, this is dumb. I'm a
I'd rather be
capable
stupid than dead.
I'm a capable adult. Just because it's nighttime, I'm walking in the parking lot towards the van. I mean, this is stupid. Let me just
Like, I would have
run to
never
the van.
walked across. If I was her, I never would have walked across the empty parking lot in the first place. I just would have waited for Tyler to finish his workout and
Yeah,
walk
that's
back
true too. I
together.
mean, I would have waited for you. But yeah, so every time
I wouldn't have
she,
let you walk into a strange parking lot by
well, we do
yourself at
come,
night.
we do come from living in Reading, in the city. So
Yeah, but
yeah.
still, I wouldn't.
But anyway, so yeah, something is definitely after her, and she can feel it, she can hear it, but she cannot really see it until she gets into the van. Now, inside of the van, obviously everything is locked up, and they have like this zippered up uh covers
Well,
on
they're like
all of the
privacy
windows.
curtains and
But they do have like cameras, like ring
yeah,
cameras all around the van.
dash cam stuff.
The,
Well, no, she's looking at the dash cam stuff
mm-hmm.
at first to kind of see if she could catch what happened to the car that got into the accident. And as soon as it gets like right alongside the van, the feed goes out and it says like media corrupted, so she can't figure
But that
out
was
what's going on.
before. Now
Yeah.
now we're in the van, and she's trying to see what is outside that it was following her, and we'll go back to that because that was also
Yeah.
important.
Well, that's why I wanted to throw that in there because
Okay.
that comes back.
So yeah, she's looking at all the cameras, and she sees in one of the cameras someone standing in the middle of the parking lot. Then the camera goes out. She was trying to turn on the van, and the back door opens, and then it slams shut. Obviously, she's spooked. She's texting Tyler like, "Hurry up."
Well, and I wouldn't have texted him either. I would have called him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or maybe even ran back to anyway. So Tyler comes back in.
Well, no, Tyler comes back in after she puts on her seatbelt.
Oh, that's right.
She's going to put on her seatbelt and she's just going to
Try to
drive probably back to the gym to get Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And the seatbelt then starts mysteriously pulling on her tighter and tighter and tighter. And she's trying to unbuckle it, and we see a spectral hand, an old gray withered hand,
Yes.
kind of reach up alongside of her,
Grabs her. Grabs her by the neck and starts choking.
Well, that's when Tyler busts in.
And obviously, she's not being choked. She got out of the car and she's like all flustered. She's screaming and yelling or whatever. And he looks inside of the van, and there's no one, obviously. There's nothing inside.
He does, however, say that he believes her.
Yes. Whether he said it to calm her down, which
Yeah.
probably it's what it is, because I don't think he really
I
did
mean,
believe her.
fellas, we all know what to say when your woman is like upset. You just tell her you just say calm down.
Yep.
It works like a charm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Just calm down.
Yeah. Don't take
You're acting a little crazy.
romantic advice from this guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So then we have they get in the van, and she does not feel like she wants to sleep there that night. So she tells him, and they end up in a motel or something.
Yeah, they get it. They go to a motel for the night,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and wackiness ensues in the
Oh
motel.
God.
At least we didn't linger on that too much. We didn't need that kind of shenanigans. So the next day, they kind of brush it off to everybody spooked a little bit and stuff like that.
Well, they do visit some sort of
Well, that's when
shop.
they go to the shop,
Mm-hmm.
like a little roadside kind of store,
Mm-hmm.
knickknacks.
all
and-
about van life, because I noticed, and I think they allude at some point that they are traveling through Route 66, which is one of the most famous. I think it's cross country route in the
and very
continental states.
conveniently, she finds a little book.
I don't think it's convenient. I think it was. I have been to a lot of roadside shops, and they do have a lot of like haunted books of the area, local area and stuff. So she did.
Finds a book of haunted
Haunted
highways. She happens upon a section in this book called the Hobo Code, where hobos used
Symbols.
when they were traveling the rail system and just on foot, they used symbols to let other people know like
What was
which
safe.
way to go and what was
not.
and one of the signs of imminent danger was our 3 slashes that we saw on the
Both.
car in the beginning and now on their Sprinter van. And she's like, oh, so she decides to pick up this book and she's doing a little more research. And she
Even gets on her laptop.
She goes to the online.
To the online.
She's doing research about this, about the Hobo Code and how they use these symbols.
But she does not tell
And
Tyler.
no, not right away anyway.
No.
And because I'm like, they were really honest with each other and she was telling them everything that was happening. Now all of a sudden she's going to keep this to herself.
Yeah. Side note, I think the one thing that this movie did really good was that the characters portrayed realistic people, and their relationship seemed or felt pretty real.
Pretty genuine, yeah.
Yes, pretty genuine. The only thing, and again, if they're portraying people, they're not gonna be portraying perfect people. But he seemed to me a little bit narcissistic because it was all about him. But we might be able to get into that later. I think things changed
Yeah,
halfway through, but
yeah, because I kind of disagree with that a little bit.
really,
Yeah. And so, anywho, she's doing her research and she comes across an old folklore, urban legend,
Oh, yes.
whatever you want to call it, about an entity called
the
Passenger. That would latch itself on to people and torment them
Yep.
on the road. So she's kind of like, oh crap,
That this
you know,
makes sense.
fucked around and found out. Now we got a passenger.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler is trying to kind of calm her fears and distract her. And they're camping in the woods at this point. And he sets up like this white sheet and some strung up lights. It makes like a little like drive-in movie theater.
Yeah, they
for
have
her.
like a projector.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's trying.
yeah,
I
he
give
is.
him that.
So he's trying, and they're watching their little movie, and this was kind of my favorite part of
Yeah,
the
it was
movie
pretty good. I
because
liked
it
that.
was pretty original and pretty creative. Because while they're watching the movie, they see a silhouette of something, and he thinks it's
On the-
standing
on the sheet.
behind the sheet, and he's like, "Wow, do you see that?" And now this is the first time Tyler
He
is seeing
sees
something
something.
weird.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, do you see that? And she's like, yeah, I see it. And he goes up to investigate. And
He gets really close up.
now he gets really close up and we see a cool effect. It's almost like Videodrome back in the day, if you've ever seen that movie, where it looks like something's coming off the screen and like
Mm-hmm.
pushing its face through the
Through the.
sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the outline of a face pushing through the sheet, and he goes and rips the sheet down, and of course, nothing's there.
Nothing's there. And obviously that spooked him.
So they start hearing noises that sound
All
like
around.
it's constantly going around
Mhm.
them. And this is where, for light, she picks up the projector and is moving the projector around the woods. And every time it hits a tree, it projects the movie like onto the tree.
Right, because the movie's still playing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's
That
a
was very
really
original,
cool
very
effect.
cool.
That was
Mhm.
really neat.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I enjoy that.
And so, of course, now we see our passenger.
Right. So she eventually gets to the
Who-
light gets to someone. It
And-
projects on the passenger's being.
And it just looks like a tall, gray, long-haired old man. Initially, I thought it was like a woman,
I thought so too.
but it wasn't. And it's this really spooky-looking guy
Dude,
who
yeah.
is played by, let's see, did I write down his name? Yep, Joseph Lopez.
Oh.
And when I looked him up on IMDb, I'm like, wow, this dude needed like almost no makeup to look like a demon. Like, I was pretty impressed. And
So they both
So-
at this point kind of run back into the van and
Yeah.
they want to get going.
and it
but-
starts shaking the van.
Oh yes, it does. Like it literally felt like they were inside of a vehicle during a twister.
So, of course, Tyler is like, I left the keys outside.
Of course.
I'm gonna go get the keys. So that's when he takes the baseball bat with him. He goes and gets the keys. He finds them out in the woods. And one of the cool things was you heard the keys jingling out in the woods.
all around.
So you're thinking something's baiting him to get out into the woods. Well, he gets the keys. They get out and they end up going to a 24-hour diner, which I was like, awesome. Vans and diners. Two of my favorite things. I'm like, this movie's got two of my favorite things in it. Vans and diners. Wow. She decides now, Maddie, she's got this book with her. And she's explaining to Tyler now, which is like, okay, fine. Now,
Well, because
good.
he finally said, like, "Is this what you have been
Yeah, is this what you've been seeing? Is
And
this?
she's, she does very well with, like, you can really feel her fear. I felt that she did really good.
Could you really feel her fear you felt?
Yes.
I
Anyway.
feel like I felt her fear.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like fear.
Yeah.
And it felt like felt on
So-
on my fear.
Okay. So yes, she shows him all of the stuff that she had been looking at and reading and researching, whatever. And so this is where he's kind of accepting where they are at this moment. And she tells him that there is no way out of this. He doesn't believe that there is no way out. And
He does the guy thing and he's like, we can fix it.
Yes, we'll fix it. But she brings up
Which he turned out to be
Diana.
right. Just by the way, fellas.
Diana, and she tells him that Diana was the first one to, warn her about the things that you should do, should not do. So maybe she knows more about this, and let's go find her, because Diana had told her where she was headed. And she was heading to Flagstaff, Arizona. This is when, but finally they make a good decision, because he's like, well, let's go right now. But wait, because it's nighttime. And she says, no, we can't drive at night. That's one of the rules.
Well, and it's something we kind of glossed over in the very beginning was when she was in the gym parking lot. In the very beginning of the movie, Tyler brings his St. Christopher medallion, which St. Christopher apparently is the patron saint of travelers. So when the entity's attacking her, she pulls the whole rear view mirror off with the medallion hanging from it and burns this entity.
And I
Burns
think
the
she meant
passenger.
to hit him with the mirror.
Yeah.
But
So
it was,
they load up before they go on their journey
Yes.
on St. Christopher medallions
Yes.
and just have the entire van
full of those
just
hanging.
And the first thing I said right before they kind of cut to it was, I'm like, they should just hang them all up in the van. And that's what
And
they
they
did.
were. Another thing we kind of glossed over was the fact that she sat him down at some point in between these occurrences and tells him that this is not the life for her.
Yeah, this was before they started watching the
The
movie.
movie, yes, he had just put, the big screen up and whatever. And so basically, we get a little bit of backstory from both of them. He lived in a house apparently by, with mom and dad, but things were not as ideal as they sound. And he had been wanting to get out from being in a household, with mom and dad, with a mom and a dad. And she happens to had grown into the foster system where she never had that same experience of being in a house
So
with family.
she basically wanted to put down roots. He wanted to uproot and go away. But this is where I say he's not a narcissist. It's because they talked about this. They made plans. She agreed to it. The whole time he thought she was enjoying it. She finally confided, and the first thing he said was, I talked to my boss, I'll sell the van, we'll do whatever. So the first thing his reaction wasn't like, well, you didn't tell me this, or I can't believe, or but he was like, okay, I'll sell the van. We'll go back to what we were doing.
Yes, but the way he said it was not. It was more to like
Well, he was
please her,
well, he
but
was
not in a. I think it was
well,
more
he was disappointed.
manipulative. I don't know. It sounded very manipulative to
Nah,
me.
you're overthinking it.
Okay. So anyway, so we know where they stand. They stand in which she doesn't like this lifestyle. They have been at it for a little bit over 2 months. He's enjoying the crap out of it. I mean, this is like his
Well, it's his dream.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was hoping that at some point they would get tired of this and get a house.
But again, thinking about it after the fact, that never really goes anywhere anyway. That was almost kind of like a throwaway scene because it never really did anything to advance the plot one way or another.
But another thing that made me think about that was that the fact that they both left their jobs, I would like to think that they both planned this for however many months ahead financially, because they were spending money and nothing was said about them.
Yeah, but it's a horror movie. You really don't think about that kind of stuff.
Well, I did.
But then he did address that though, because he said his boss called him and said he could have his job back.
Yes.
You can work remotely, and it was a bump up in pay.
Yeah, but that was in the
So
middle.
there you go, problem solved.
That was in the middle of the trip. You don't just up and leave without having a backup plan. So I am willing to think that somehow they had money saved up for up to maybe 6 months to a year. So at the very least, she had to be okay with that amount of time being out on the road.
Okay, so their bank accounts aside, they have a demon stalking them.
Okay, yes, fair enough. So so now it's daylight.
The shit you think about while we're watching a movie. Seriously.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's just where my mind goes. It is daylight, and they are heading over to Flagstaff, Arizona. However, nighttime is almost fallen, and guess what happens?
Well, this was the weird part because
yes.
they're falling asleep as they're driving because when they get the St. Christopher medallions from the store, they get like a case of Red Bull. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yep, they get a case of Red Bull and all the St. Christopher medallions. They had money for Red Bull. So they put some stuff aside because they had Red Bull money. And so they're hauling ass. They're like, we're just driving straight through. We're going. It's a straight shot as fast as we can. And they start dozing off and falling asleep. And it's broad daylight. And when their eyes snap open, all of a sudden it's dark. And both of them are like, how the hell did it get dark?
And it's almost, their gas tank is almost empty. So obviously, supernatural. And it's almost nighttime.
Yeah.
And they get a flat tire.
This was on the way. This was after they went and saw Diana. They go to see Diana first, and she's at an RV campers meet cute with all her
Peoples.
with all her other meat cube people.
Mm-hmm. And they all look exactly the same.
And Diana's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Because I think Diana knows why they're there. And they're asking all these people, "Hey, do you know Diana?" And they're like, "Go back to where you came from."
With your Airbnb van, because
Yeah,
it did
go
look like
go
so
take
cute.
your newbie Airbnb van and get out.
Their van looked very cute inside.
Yeah. So finally, Diana comes and is like, "What do you two want?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Something's following us. Something's, we think this thing." And Diana knows exactly what
She's
they're
like, nope,
talking
nope,
about. And
nope,
she's like,
nope.
"Nope, everybody pack up. We're leaving."
Get
Well,
out,
first of
go
all,
away.
one of her rules was you can't drive at night.
Mm-hmm.
So initially, she tells everybody, get back
Lock up.
inside, lock your doors. Which if something's supernatural, I don't think the demon ain't gonna go, "Fuck,
Damn it,
they
the door
all
is
locked the
locked.
doors." All of a sudden, then she decides that she's gonna get out of there. They beg her for help, and she's like, "There's no way to help. Most people don't last more than 2-3 days with this thing. You're fucked." Oh no, wait, there is one way. And it's maybe if you go out to this church in the middle of nowhere, it's
Mm-hmm.
not on any map. It's the Church of St. Christopher. Maybe if you get there, you'll have a chance.
Mm-hmm. They were gonna follow her.
They're like, "Well, if we don't have any map, how does?" She's like, "I'll take you there." So she
So now
just
she
said,
went
"Don't drive
from
at night," to
yep.
"Here, I'll take you there right now in the middle of the night."
Mm-hmm.
This is where it kind of starts going off the
This
rails
is
a
for
little bit.
me. Yeah, the plot got really thin. It got really sloppy. They are getting into their van and they're about to follow her, except we see Diane is in her van and we see her. She's talking to them and about to start driving when
Well, something grabs her by the head and bends her neck
bends her
back
neck.
so far that it basically decapitates her.
Right. So then now they witness this horrific killing, and obviously they know, okay, this shit is for real.
And you know what? I really want to know. I don't even know what this movie was rated. I'd almost bet that it was PG-13 because there was not much gore in this movie at all.
No. I mean, it was a really cool shot. It was a cool
Yeah,
death.
but not much blood.
But there was not like blood splitting everywhere, spilling everywhere, or, no.
So
Little disappointing.
that's when they decide we're gonna haul ass and we're going to try and find
Find
this
it
church,
somehow.
which I don't even know how they figured out what direction to even start going in, because this church could literally be anywhere.
And they are in the desert, so it
So
just could be anywhere.
So they're combing the desert, and to this point, they ain't found shit. And they notice, well, gas tank's getting empty. They decide, well, we better head back to town.
Mm-hmm.
We better play it safe, head back to town for the night. And they pull an illegal U-turn, I might add.
Wow.
Illegal. They start going back to town, and on one of like a roadside billboard, they notice a symbol that is, I believe it's a circle with an arrow.
What happened to the tire?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
my
think
God.
that happened on the way to.
I forgot about that.
I really think that happened on the way to Diana.
Well, I don't know. It happened either way.
Yeah.
So they get a flat tire,
Yes.
and he's out there changing the tire, and Maddie's kind of keeping watch, shining the flashlight all around, and I'm waiting again to see the thing in the flashlight, because that's something that's happened about 8 times by now, is an image of something in a flashlight. They basically turn their backs for 2 seconds and all the lug nuts are gone.
Yeah. Which was another thing that we predicted, because at least I did, because they were showing the lug nuts on the ground, and I'm thinking, they're gonna be gone. Sure enough, they were pushed like right under the vehicle, and the vehicle is on a
It's up on one of those little tiny jacks that you find in your car that can't hold crap.
right.
He's got the big offset lug nut wrench to spin these off. And the first thing I'm thinking is just take that and reach under it and pull them back. Like, just reach under. Like, I would not go under a car
No.
supported by one of those little jacks. Like, I
No,
would.
especially after
He's
everything
got
that they
something
have been
long. They got to
going.
have something in the van.
And
Like,
at some
just.
point, one of the lug nuts, she's walking around on the other side of the van, and one of the lug nuts was closer to her side. She could have just bent down and just grabbed it.
But Tyler decides to make a horrible decision and crawl under the van. As the van now, of course, the jack starts turning and it
And we
starts
see it. He
coming
doesn't.
down. We see this entity. Well, we don't see the entity, but we know it grabs Maddie.
Yeah, she fell somehow. She fell facing down, and she's looking right at Tyler, and she gets dragged out from the site, his site. So
And
he's
she,
a
and
little bit pinned.
she gone now.
Yeah, she gone.
And he's climbing back out as the thing is coming down. The van's coming down on him. And he almost gets out, but this van that falls down and has about 2 inches of clearance pins his leg. And he pulls it out from under the van,
Well-
and he's just got a little limp.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
I
that
do
thing
think-
would have been clear. It would have been like Ace Ventura, like, it's in the bone. Ah!
But
It's in
I
the
do think
bone.
at some point, like when that happened, the van looked like it was being pushed or pressed down on him.
Yeah, but either way, like I said, it ended up like 2 inches off the ground, and it had his entire shin and foot trapped under it. But he pulled it out, and he just had like a brush burn and a little limp.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay, now we're getting a little. But he
He gets it.
finishes changing the tire, even after the jack presumably got destroyed. He changes the tire and goes after Maddie. Now, again, he has no idea where she is, but he gets in and starts racing down the street. She could be like 2 feet off the side of the road.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at the same time, she opens her eyes. She is in a scene of an accident. She's looking around to see what she's actually looking
And
at.
I thought that would have a lot more meaning.
Yeah.
That she was at the scene of an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, why did this thing take her there? Well, it was for no
It wasn't.
reason.
It was for nothing. She is then pulled or manipulated by the entity into kneeling down and stretching her arms in the middle of the road. And the face of this entity is looking right at her.
Like, come get me, bro.
Mm-hmm. And then here comes the van at full speed, mind you, towards her. She's just kneeling down with her arms out. He, Tyler, happens to see her right on time, obviously, and he does a big, spinny thingy break and doesn't hit her. How? I mean, this guy would have. This guy would have hit me.
Break.
He probably would have been fiddling with his music, and
What
was that?
I'd have been trying to pull up my Rush playlist on Spotify while I was
whoop,
going after him.
what
Like,
was
I need
that?
some music. what was that?
Oh yeah, Vanessa.
Yeah. And then the movie would have been over.
But no, yeah. So he gets out, rescues her from the ground, and she's disheveled, and
Yep.
they get back in the car. So now back to
So back to now, they go to try and find the church, and this is where they see the sign with the symbol.
I saw the sign.
And they, oh God.
fill
Raise your
my
hand if you
eyes.
thought you would have you would have gotten an Ace of Base reference on a horror movie podcast.
But you said this. They saw the sign. So anyway,
And it opened up her eyes.
on the sign,
She saw the sign
on the sign there was a little circle
with an arrow.
with an arrow, and that is part of
Which, according
the
to Hobo Code,
Hobo Code.
means
Go that
dirty
way.
blowjob that way. So he's like, I want a dirty blowjob. So he goes and they
Let's
go and
go that way.
basically drive through the desert.
The desert.
And again, they're combing the desert. And this I actually thought was a little cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they get to a car door just propped up in the middle of the desert with another circle an hour. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Guess I'm going this way.
That's yeah.
They stop in this opening and see bodies.
Mm-hmm.
covered
And
in
white
sheets, in like
sheets.
white sheets.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not real. This thing's just trying to keep us from getting to this church because it knows what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of the cool scenes because they start driving over the bodies
Mm-hmm.
and you hear crunching
Mm-hmm.
and squelching, and I'm like, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they get to a point where they get to basically like a graveyard of cars.
Mm-hmm.
And this is again where I kind of they made a pact to not split up. So of course the first thing Tyler does is get out of the car. And they split up and he's like,
He
just
does
follow me. I'll walk ahead of you and I'll tell you which way to go.
this. Mm-hmm.
Now if you're driving slow enough, you're going to figure this out anyway. So they're weaving their way. They get through this and now the entity's like hot on their tail. The back doors flip open. The thing supernaturally rips out all the St. Christopher medallions and comes in there and starts tossing Tyler around in the back like a rag doll.
Yep. Yep.
And he's kind of fighting this thing off so that it doesn't get to Maddie. And they see the church in the distance and she just steps on it and is flying through, just bouncing through the desert.
Bouncing.
And Tyler is like, just head to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Head to the church. Do what you got to do. And he flies out the back of the van.
Yeah. Now, as she's running to the church, I was thinking, what do you think is going to happen? However, when she gets close to the actual property,
she probably thought at least they would be protected at least.
Yes, I guess so. They do show that once he gets onto the holy.
Well, it's attacking her. It's trying to attack her in the van, so she decides to hit the brakes and yeets the thing through the windshield, which I'm
That's
like,
right.
okay, it's supernatural, but it can be thrown through the windshield.
Hey,
And-
physics,
Yeah, and when it hits the ground, it starts sizzling and smoking and
because it touched
whatnot. And she's
part
like,
of
oh, it's holy ground.
holy ground. Yes.
And I'm thinking, okay, when you're at a church, where does the holy ground begin and end? Is it like at the property line of the church?
Yeah, it goes
So
by
like
the.
you can jump back and forth and be like holy, unholy, holy, unholy. Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
I
must
don't know.
be, must be.
But I guess they were close enough to the church to sizzle
he-
this thing. So this thing decides it's gonna get up and stand right in front of the van, and she just goes full send, hits this thing.
Yep.
She goes, okay, I'm taking it through the church. So she busts through the front door of the church with the van with this thing, and right there in this hollowed out, empty, rundown, beat up church is this
There's
giant
still
statue of Saint Christopher.
Christopher.
Because apparently people in the desert worship Saint Christopher.
And don't sit anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. They stand. Saint Christopher's like, attention.
Oh no, because it's for van life people. So.
Yeah, so you don't, well, that's all you do
don't
is
know.
sit. I don't know. But yeah, St. Christopher predicted van life. And she wails this statue and the thing starts sizzling and it's caught between the van and the St. Christopher
And
statue.
the statue falls forward.
Yeah, well, she pulls back a little bit
Oh,
and the
yes.
thing climbs up onto the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And the statue tilts forward and there's like a giant spear
Yeah.
that's just
Because-
at the perfect angle because I guess St. Christopher carried a spear.
Carried a spear with
I don't
him.
know. If you're Catholic, let me know. Did St. Christopher carry a spear? I don't know.
So the demon now is, or the entity is now kind of in between the van and the statue that have fallen forward. He gets, she sees the statue and the spear, and she figures she's gonna, push him towards that spear, and somehow it happens, and he gets
And this thing, this demon,
gets
this
stabbed.
immortal entity is impaled
Impaled.
onto the spear of St. Christopher and melts.
His face starts melting into like pieces, like a puzzle piece start melting down.
And then, of course, we need Mabas Bloom There's a giant explosion. The church
Boom.
bursts into flames. So
And she's
she's making
trying
her
to get
way
out of
out,
the van, and
and I'm like, yeah, here
here
comes
comes.
Tyler. Tyler's gonna come in,
Yep.
and he comes in and is like, follow the sound of my voice. He's like, take my hand, take my
Take my
strong
strong
hand,
hand.
and he gets her out of the church, and they're kind of sitting there embracing as the church is burning, and the police arrive. Now, at least they did explain that, because I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell did the cops know about this?
In the middle of the
Well, in
desert.
the beginning of the movie, they had like a little like
Satellite.
walkie-talkie
It's a
kind of
satellite
sat
phone.
thing, and he called the police on that. So I'm like, okay. But now I'm sitting there going, okay, the movie's over. It's wrapped up in a little bow, and I'm the guy who always thinks about what happens after the movie ends. Like, aren't the police going to be like, you two fucking Nimrods drove your van into a church and blew it up? And what are they going to go, oh, well, no, we had to kill an ancient demonic entity.
Yeah.
No, they're going to jail.
Probably.
Yeah.
Were you too drunk to like not see the road? There's no road.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is our movie. Oh, they did have a little moment between them, and they kind of talked about having, or he did, having finding a house, a new place to live, in a gated community place.
Which sets up Passenger 2. It's in a house now.
In a gated community house.
It sets us
with
up for
HOAs.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, it's an HOA demon.
So,
Your grass is too high, and then it murders people. You painted your shutters the wrong color.
this is the end of our movie. And
Well,
what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts were it actually started out really strong. There's a couple things. The more you think about it, the more you can pick it apart. But in the moment,
yeah.
I think the plot was pretty tight to start. I think they made good, rational decisions that I think people would make in that situation. And it progressed along really well. And I was genuinely curious to see where the movie went. And then it kind of went off the rails a little bit to an over-the-top, way too dramatic kind of quote-unquote Hollywood ending. I think... Don't ask me. I don't get paid to do it, so don't ask me how I would have made the movie better. But it's... I don't know. I was really liking where they were going with it, and then it just kind of got cheesy at the end. Like, too over the top and cheesy.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the movie was not over the top at all.
No.
It was actually under the top.
Under the hood?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that's where I had issues from the very beginning. As soon as we left the theater, and you kept saying, "Oh yeah, no, that was pretty good and that was pretty solid," and I'm like, yeah, like most of it was. I don't know that it ended the way that I would have liked. Right after the encounter with Diana, I just didn't. It just seemed a little bit sloppy, a little bit hurried, a little bit nonsensical. I don't know. But then again, like you said, we don't get paid to do, write movies or anything. I don't know
If
how
you
it
want to
would have
pay me to
ended.
film a movie, I'll film a movie. Like anything. I don't care.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know how I would have liked it to end. But
I swear they had a good idea and got 2/3 of the way through it, and they were like, shit.
yeah.
How the fuck do we end this thing?
Yeah. So let's get into scoring. If you are new here, we score on a scale of from 0 to 5 on 3 different categories. Our first category is the plot.
So, like I said, I think it started out strong. I think the premise of the movie was actually really original. The whole van life road tripper. I want to give it high marks for the originality, but then it kind of fell apart into kind of like a very typical, predictable thing. So I'm invoking my decimal privileges and I am going to give it a 2.5 giant spoons.
Spoons, huh?
Yeah, because when they were in the little knickknack shop, he was like, we could cuddle or we could, and he had a
And then you have
gigantic
the.
spoon. So
That's cute. That's cute.
2.5 giant spoons.
Okay. So I agree. I think the premise was good. Execution for the most part was really well done. But there were just a few holes in the plot that I was not very happy with. I think they should have addressed those. But for the most part, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a really good idea. And I will give it 3 license plates out of 5.
Alrighty then.
At some point, they did see a license plate with the name Maddie.
Oh,
Remember
okay.
that?
Yeah.
Our second category is acting and directing.
So again, the acting was fine. It was really good. Like I don't think it was transcendent. Now we have just come off from seeing Hokum
And
and Obsession. So it doesn't touch that, but it's serviceable. It's not bad. The directing, I thought everything worked to move everything along until it didn't. Um, but there were a couple of things where I was like, "That's a hole. That's a hole," but then they addressed it,
hmm
and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. They're doing this." So I'm gonna be generous because I thought it was a pretty good performance. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 giant spoons.
no, I think the acting was decent enough, and directing was good. There were some very excellent shots, very good camera work, and again, we're not professionals, but I do tend to notice.
You would think we are, but we're not.
Yeah, I do tend to notice things because I do have a creative eye, and I do like when shots get creative and artistic, and I did see some of that. So I really enjoyed that. The acting, yeah, it was believable. It wasn't over the top. So I will give it a 3 out of 5 license plates.
Okay.
Our last category is rewatchability. And as we have mentioned many times in our podcast before, this is where we either say we think, okay, well, this movie had a little bit of depth in it and we really want to, explore more in it. Or this movie was a really straightforward, no reason to, dive deeper. So, what do you think?
Again, this wasn't a bad movie. It just went off the rails at the end. It was fun, but I don't really have to rewatch it to catch something I might have missed because they address everything. There's nothing really hidden in there that's going to shed more light on anything, but it was a fun movie. I'm not going to rewatch it because everything that happened that could have been not missed, but I just predicted everything that was going to happen, and it happened. So there's no sense for me to rewatch it for that, but it was still fun enough that when it comes on to streaming, I'll probably watch it again. So I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 gigantic spoons.
Yeah, I don't think this movie had a lot of depth. I think it was well done. I think it was. There were a few times that I was really, really, really looking into the background to see if I could see the entity. I don't really think you would need to view this for any other purpose other than just for fun. I will also give it a 2. And It's funny because I think you mentioned it once before that all movies get an automatic one for me because if I watch them in the theater because I need the subtitles.
Yeah,
And
pretty
it's
much.
true. All movies get an automatic one if I see it, if I see them at the movie theater because I don't watch it with subtitles. So, uh, this is to me, for me, a 2 out of 5 license plates for rewatchability. So, what is your final score?
So, well, you gave it an 8 out of 15,
8 of.
and I gave it a 7.5
Okay.
out of
So,
15.
those are pretty average scores, I
Yeah, so
think.
an average doesn't mean bad.
Nah.
It just means average,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I did enjoy watching it. I
Mhm.
didn't regret it. I wasn't like, oh my God, I just wasted an hour and a half of my life.
Mhm.
I do think the other thing, too, is I think they kind of phoned it in on the entity a little bit.
Mm.
It could have been a little more creative with
I
the
did
entity.
notice that he had like a thing that the priests wear.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I noticed. Yeah.
And but again, average solid movie, better than some of the stuff that's come out so far this year. But again, maybe too, I might be jaded because we just watched Hokum and Possession
Yeah.
or Obsession.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they were so good.
And they were really hyping this movie up everywhere.
Yeah. I
hate when
honestly
they do
didn't have
that.
high hopes for it when I saw the trailer. I kind of predicted like what was the movie was gonna. That's the problem
Well, I
with
had
seeing
no idea it
trailers.
was about van life. I mean, I know people in my life that did
No,
the
but
van
you
life,
knew it was
so
gonna have something to do with somebody on the road, and that was gonna be the movie.
yeah.
And it was. And again, progressed along, started out really nice. It just fell a little flat.
Yeah.
So again, I think with that, we're gonna wrap up our review. I would say I wouldn't recommend you go see it in the theater. If you want to, go see it. You're not going to regret it. You're going to have a good time.
But
But
if you
this is
can
probably
wait,
one you can wait
yeah,
for it to come out
I
on
would wait.
streaming because your experience isn't going to be that enhanced by
No,
seeing this in the theater.
absolutely not. Unless you really, really, really like
But if you,
movie theater
yeah,
popcorn.
but if you just want some popcorn and some
Yeah.
snacks and you want to go see a
But right
fun
now,
movie,
there
go see it.
are other movies in the theater like Obsession and Hokum. I believe Hokum is still out. That I would recommend you go before you watch this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, with that being said, what time is it?
Game time.
And it is my turn for some horror movie trivia. So our movie had a lot of themes of,
Road trip.
road trips and things like that. So we are going to be doing a little bit of road trip horror trivia. What 1986 horror thriller features a murderous hitchhiker played by Rutger Hauer?
Rutger. The Hitcher.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. In Jeepers Creepers, what do the siblings first see the creeper doing?
Well, that's it. Well, they didn't see him when he was driving. So it would be throwing what looked like a body down into a tube, like a tunnel well kind of thing.
Yep. Dumping bodies down a pipe. What horror movie features a truck driver terrorizing a motorist directed by Steven Spielberg?
Ah, shit, I know this one. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it has C. Thomas Howell is in it. Damn it. When you tell me this, I'm going to know it. I don't.
Duel.
Oh, no, I didn't think that was the name of it. Then I might be thinking of another movie.
This is a
I
very
might be
easy
thinking
one.
of The Hitcher.
This is a very easy one. In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what vehicle are the friends traveling in?
A van.
What 2003 horror film follows a group trapped in a remote forest after hitting something on the road?
Oh, Wrong Turn.
No. Dead
Oh.
End.
What?
Dead End.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, that does happen in Wrong Turn too.
In Joyride, what is the CB radio handle used to prank the trucker?
I know that movie. I've never seen it, so I'm gonna
Really?
guess. Yeah, because I think Lily Sobieski is in that.
Mm,
Joyride. What CB
CB
handle?
radio handle.
Thunder Gun.
Candy cane.
Yeah. Well, I never saw the movie.
In Wrong Turn, what causes the main characters to become stranded?
Is it multiple choice?
No.
What causes the main characters to be stranded? Well, it's a car accident.
Yes. Yeah. It says a car crash, traffic backup forces them onto a back road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In House of a Thousand Corpses, what roadside attraction are the characters originally searching for?
Are they originally searching for? Because they stop at Captain Spaulding's.
Yes. That was what they were originally searching for. Captain Spaulding's Museum of Monsters and Madman. In The Hills of Ice, where does the family become stranded?
In the desert?
Yeah.
It's a desert.
What horror thriller involves college students taking a wrong back road shortcut and encountering deadly killers in the woods?
Wrong Turn?
Yes.
Oh my God, is Wrong Turn the answer to like half these questions?
No, one of them was the wrong answer.
Oh, well.
But there you have it. How'd you do? Did you guess them all? Did you have any idea of any of these? Hopefully you did if you're a horror movie fan.
If you're a fan of horrors.
Horror.
So, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support. Check us out. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all those cool things.
Like and subscribe.
Yep.
And hey, if you like our t-shirts, this is a Necro Kitty shirt and the original Couch of the Dead shirt. Just let us know. We might choose a random person that comments in our YouTube videos or a random person that comments in these episodes, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And we might contacting you and send you a new one, a new t-shirt.
Little shout out to one of our fellow podcasters. If you're into true crime, check out True Crime Wife with Jess.
Yes.
We've listened to a ton of her episodes already. Really great true crime podcast. She's helped us out a little bit with a shout out, so we're going to help her right back.
Yep.
So hope you're listening, Jess. We love you. Thank you for your support.
Currently listening to her part 1 of 3, possible 3, she said, episodes on the one couple killers. It has been very interesting. She is so thorough.
Thanks for the ideas.
Wow. No. She's very thorough in her episodes, and I just love her genuinity. Really, really do. So
what the hell was that word? Genuinity?
Yeah, she's very genuine. Very real. So if you like true crime, we definitely recommend True Crime Wife by Jess. And with that, we are done.